Google Webmaster Tools, Email Insights for SEO. B2B buyers are researching in Google before they ever reply. If you're running B2B sales in 2025, you're selling to researchers first and decision makers second. Prospects are building a point of view in Google long before they open an email, book a demo, or take a call. That's why treating SEO like marketing's thing quietly hurts pipeline quality. Across industries, organic search drives about 33% of overall website traffic, which means a meaningful chunk of your future pipeline starts with queries, not with your SDR team's scripts. In B2B specifically, organic can account for roughly 62% of website traffic, and about 71% of buyers begin with a generic, non-branded search. If we don't know what they searched, we're guessing what they care about. Email is still the most buyer-friendly place to start a conversation too. About 77% of B2B buyers prefer being contacted by email. Add in the reality that email often returns around $36 to $42 for every $1 invested, and the opportunity becomes obvious. Use Google Webmaster Tools, now Google Search Console, Insights to make outbound email feel like it's arriving mid-research, not out of nowhere. Google Search Console is voice of customer data for sales. Google Webmaster Tools was rebranded to Google Search Console, GSC, but the value is the same. It shows how real people discover your site in search. For sales leaders, that's not an SEO dashboard. It's a live feed of the words prospects use to describe their problems, the solutions they're comparing, and the angles they respond to. When we lift that language into outreach, we stop inventing messaging in a vacuum. This isn't a niche tool anymore. More than 75% of websites that receive Google organic traffic use Search Console, and 92% of SEO agencies rely on it. If your sales org can't see it, you're effectively choosing not to look at information your competitors are likely using. The best mental model is to treat every query like a one-to-one interview notes. A prospect searching outbound sales agency pricing or hire SDRs for SaaS is telling you how they frame the problem, what they believe the solution category is, and where they are in the buying cycle. Your cold email agency messaging should mirror that phrasing because it instantly feels familiar and relevant. Turn search queries into email angles without keyword stuffing. Start by exporting your top queries from the GSC performance report and grouping them into themes your ICP actually cares about. We recommend tagging each theme by persona and intent so you can route the right angle to the right audience. For example, pricing/info comparisons to late-stage accounts and checklists/best practices to early-stage researchers. This is how you build sequences that feel targeted without relying on creepy personalization. Next, steal the exact wording prospects use in Google and place it where it matters most. Subject lines, the first two sentences, and your call to action. If the market is searching sales outsourcing for cybersecurity and your email opens with generic positioning, you'll lose attention immediately. When your copy matches how they already talk about the problem, replies typically improve because the email reads like it belongs in their current workflow. Finally, use your strongest SEO content as the excuse to reach out. Instead of pushing a demo in the first touch, offer a relevant guide or checklist that already earns impressions and clicks. This works especially well for an outsourced sales team or SDR agency motion where the first goal is engagement, not immediate conversion, and it gives prospects a low-friction reason to respond. Build a simple workflow. Export, test in email, then update your pages. The most useful GSC pattern for revenue teams is high impressions, low CTR. It tells you buyers are interested in the topic, but your current framing isn't earning the click. Before you rewrite the page and wait weeks for results, Run the messaging test in Outbound first. Value first versus ROI first. Technical framing versus business outcome, or how-to versus mistakes to avoid. Once an email version wins, opens, replies, and meetings, use that winning language to refresh the page title, meta description, and above-the-fold copy. This closes the loop from SERP to inbox to landing page, which prevents a common conversion killer. A prospect clicks from your email into a page that tells a slightly different story than your subject line. Consistency is what makes the journey feel like one coherent conversation. Operationally, keep it lightweight. A 30-minute monthly review with marketing and sales is enough. Pull the top queries and pages, pick 2 to 3 themes to test in sequences, and assign 1 page refresh to match the best performing email hook. Do this consistently, and your outbound sales agency motion will feel aligned with real demand instead of trying to manufacture it from scratch. Every keyword in Search Console is a prospect telling you, in their own words, what they care about. Use that phrasing in your subject lines and first sentences, and your outreach stops sounding like a guess. Best practices that connect SEO, email, and landing pages. Treat GSC as a revenue input, not a marketing report. Give sales leadership read-only access and build a shared planning doc where SEO themes map to sequence angles, talk tracks, and content offers. When SDRs and AEs can see what's trending in queries, they stop leaning on generic pitches and start speaking to active buyer intent. Make brand search a hidden email KPI. If you run a strong outbound push and branded impressions rise in Search Console, even when replies lag, that's often a leading indicator of awareness and future conversion. For teams investing in cold calling services and email together, it's one of the cleanest ways to show leadership that outreach is creating market pull, not just chasing existing demand. Keep measurement honest by tagging every email link with standardized UTMs and separating email-driven sessions from organic in analytics. Without that separation, you can't credibly show how email amplification impacts engagement on SEO pages or how content offers influence meetings booked. This is especially important if you're running pay-per-appointment lead generation or sales outsourcing, where attribution debates can derail good programs. Common mistakes that make SEO and outbound fight each other. The biggest mistake is letting marketing own Search Console, while sales never sees it. When that happens, SDRs build messaging from gut feel, and marketers optimize pages for clicks that don't convert into pipeline. The fix is straightforward: shared access, a monthly ritual, and a short list of themes the whole revenue team agrees to test. Another common miss is chasing vanity rankings instead of high-intent queries that signal buying behavior. If your goal is meetings, prioritize themes that include words like software, platform, solution, vendor, pricing, or alternatives, then align those themes across SERP snippet, email copy, and landing page headline. This is where a B2B sales agency or sales development agency can add leverage by systematically turning intent into repeatable sequences. Teams also underuse what's already working organically. If your top pages in Search Console never show up in your outbound sequences, your cold callers and email reps are creating demand from zero instead of riding momentum you already earned. A simple quarterly requirement: make sure at least half your sequences reference or link to top-performing organic assets, usually increases consistency and lowers the randomness of pipeline. Optimization: align reports, talk tracks, and tests across the revenue team. Once per month, sit your SDR manager with marketing and review the top 20 queries and pages in GSC. Turn the themes into objection handlers, PS lines, and discovery questions so the team's talk tracks match what the market is already asking. This is particularly effective if you run B2B cold calling services alongside email, because it gives reps a consistent narrative across channels. Use this simple framework to decide what to test next and keep the analysis tied to outcomes the business cares about. On the email side, the bar for performance keeps rising as personalization improves, with forecasts suggesting email ROI climbing toward $38 to $45 per $1 by 2025. That's exactly why SEO-informed personalization matters. It's not just inserting a name or company, it's aligning your pitch to the same topics and language prospects are already using in search. Done right, your cold email agency motion becomes less interruption and more continuation. Next steps, make SEO to email a repeatable revenue play. If you want to operationalize this quickly, start with access and cadence. Get sales ops, SDR leadership, and at least one AE into Search Console, read-only is fine. Then run a recurring monthly review tied to one concrete output, the next set of email angles to test. Over time, this becomes a shared language between marketing and sales rather than two separate planning cycles. From there, build a small SEO to email hit list of 20 to 30 themes sourced directly from queries and top pages. Each theme should have a subject line concept, an opening hook, a value asset to share, and one landing page you're willing to send cold traffic to. This is where we often see teams improve meeting quality because the messaging is anchored in intent, not generic positioning. At SalesHive, we've seen this work across outbound programs because it makes outreach feel naturally timed to what prospects are already researching. Whether you're evaluating an SDR agency, expanding sales outsourcing, or upgrading your outbound sales agency playbook, the core idea stays the same. Let Google tell you what the market cares about. Then use email to start the conversation in the buyer's language.